Sorry about that. Hey everybody! Today we'll be focusing on how to paint the wings for Chaos Space Marines for Possessed. So, but of course, if you have wings like this, these can also work on your Demon Prince as well for Heretic Astartes. So let's get started. I base coat a little bit off camera because we'll need another base coat, but for this we're going to start with a base coat of Bugman's Glow. So, shake out the pot. Here, take some Bugman's Glow. Send it down just a touch. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now, you may notice I left the inside unpainted, but don't worry, you can just leave it unpainted and you can do the same thing for the inside of the wings. Alright, that's the Bugman's Glow done. Let me just clean off my brush real quick. Okay, so, now you may notice this is looking way too healthy. So, for this, all we're going to do is we're going to apply a contrast paint to it to make it look like really disgusting. Where is it? We're going to use a purple contrast paint. For this, we're going to use Magos Purple. So, shake up your contrast paints really good, because if you don't shake up your contrast paints, they'll dry up really shiny, and you do not want that whatsoever. Oh, and sorry about my voice, it's allergy season. And it's another good reason to shake up your contrast paints, because if you do, it not only helps the contrast paint, but also it also gives you enough time to let your base coat dry up. So, if you don't have Bugman's Glow, sorry about that. If you don't have Magos Purple, you could of course use Druchii Violet, but I don't have Druchii Violet because the last pot spilled. So we're going to apply it with a layer. We're going to apply a contrast paint. For this, I'm going to use a medium layer brush by Citadel for added control. But of course, you can use a large shade brush if you wish, or a medium shade brush. So, all we're going to do, make sure not too much, we're going to go individually on the wings, like that. This will help make the wings look more disgusting, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Oh, and also, before I forget, you can also do it on the muscle where the wing is right here. This accounts per part of the flesh, yes. If you have any other flesh models, this method will also work on if you have obliterators for the Heretic Astartes. You can use it for the obliterators, or sometimes even the accursed cultists if you want a different skin tone other than demonette hide. Alright, that's our contrast paint applied. Oh, just trying to make sure. Oh, and also, make sure when you're using a contrast paint, make sure it doesn't pool in the recesses or else you'll lose the detail. It's the same as a wash. So, next, all we're going to do is we're going to start highlighting. For this, we're going to use a simple highlight. For the first parts of highlights, we're going to use a flesh tone color. For this, we're going to use Cadian flesh tone. So, shake up your paint. So, basically, all we're going to do is we're going to take a small brush. I'm using a 5-0 brush, but of course, if you're using Citadel, I highly recommend a small layer brush. So, for this, we're going to focus around the edges, like so. Whenever you see these open recesses, just do that. But also, what you can do, there we go. Sorry about that. So basically what we're going to do is that instead of that, we're going to highlight the edges of it to make sure it looks more disgusting. So it looks more like, and if you remember, this is the same method I use for my Hormagon, for my Gargoyle, for my Tyranids, but this will work just as well for Chaos Space Marine Possessed as well. Oh, and for those of you that don't know, Adeptus Astartes or Heretic Astartes, it's just another word. It's just their official word for Space Marine. Chaos has the Heretic Astartes, and the Imperium has the Adeptus Astartes. Okay, so now on the other part of the wing. You may be wondering why we're not highlighting it in. Well, I'm trying to make it look a little more like disgusting or demonic. And this method will also work on your Nurgle models if you have Death Guard possessed. But of course, you can also do this just for regular possessed, right, like what I'm doing. Okay, hold on, let me fix something. There you go. Alright, that's the Cadian flesh tone done. Alright, so now, all we're basically going to do is we're going to shade in some of the areas that aren't the flesh. So for right here, we have the bands of the wings, right, the lines on the wings. For this, we're going to apply a different color. For this, we're going to go with a, with a shade of Carroburg Crimson. Shake up your wash. Just a second, it spilled. Sorry about that. Okay, all we're going to do is we're going to basically... So, basically what we're going to do is we're going to shade in the recesses. So, for right here, sorry about it just spilled on my finger a little bit. The reason why we're only going to the recesses will help get the definition that we want. And also on the muscles as well, so you can definitely tell the muscle from the wing apart. Okay, that's the Carroburg Crimson done. Okay, for the last highlight, we're going to use just a simple highlight. Let me just wipe off my hand real quick. Sorry about that. So, all we're going to do is we're going to use Kislev Flesh. So, all we're going to do, we're going to highlight near the edges. So for this, we're going to be focusing near the Cadian flesh tone that we did. So, take a little bit of paint on a palette. So, all we're going to do, just an extra thin highlight. The edges at the bottom of the wings. Okay, and that's how you paint the wings for the Heretic Astartes Possessed. So, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if so, this will also work on your flesh for your obliterators. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.